In the headlines, the Polina is speculation that a Thursday operation in Castries was related to a previous viral confrontation between a civilian and officers at Union. Many St. Lucians line supermarkets and uptown liquor store as the ban on alcohol sales is lifted. And 219 St. Lucians are finally on home soil, although they have to complete a 14-day quarantine period. The details are coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovely and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Friday, the 8th of May, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We're on Flow, channel 117. The broadcast is also being simulcast on Kiss FM and on our Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Video of a police operation in Castries has hit social media and is generating much buzz. The police force is speaking out to clear the air on the purpose and conduct of the operation that resulted in multiple arrests. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force arrested 6 individuals as part of an operation on Thursday in the Marsha and Grass Street communities in Castries. Police Press Relations Officer Corporal Ann Joseph has rebuffed claims that the operation was a retaliatory tactic following the incident in Union, where a civilian issued threats to the police.
At this time, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force wishes to take this opportunity to dispel the notion that the operation was as a consequence of a viral video depicting an altercation between an officer and persons at a location in Union prior to this incident. The operation was actually conducted to arrest persons who were wanted for unrelated matters. The operation was also conducted in keeping with our protocols, our mandate right now, to ensure that persons are following the guidelines set out by the statutory instrument presented by the government of St. Lucia. The operation, as I said, was in no way retaliation to anything that happened previously. It was so that we could effect arrests of wanted persons and to ensure that persons were keeping to the order.
With respect to the use of force by officers, Corporal Ann Joseph says they were well within their right to do so. She further refuted reports that claimed a male officer had slapped a female civilian in order to subdue her. Joseph clarified that a female civilian did indeed have to be subdued, but that the officer used reasonable force with a cane.
What happened was that there was a female suspect who used physical force against several police officers. In keeping with our use of force policy, the police officers escalated lawfully in order to subdue that individual. Force was used, but it was not force that was used without following the law. Guidelines have been set out for us for use of force policy. We can use force. Any individual can use force, in fact, to one, defend yourself or another. Police officers can use force equal to force that has been used against them in order to subdue somebody during the course of an arrest. There was no slapping. And I believe that misconception is what is making persons believe that there was some abuse of force. There was a cane that was in the hand of the police officer. He did not slap anybody.
Nonetheless, Joseph says police take all reports of police abuse seriously, and if anyone has a complaint, they should make a report which will be investigated by the Police Complaints Unit. The suspension on the sale of alcohol was lifted effective Friday, the 8th of May. Supermarkets, gas stations, and shops saw an influx of customers throughout the day given the reinstatement of liquor licenses. Long lines could be seen outside supermarkets across the island as people hope to get their hands on one or more bottles of alcohol.
The lines are exceedingly long at supermarkets and mini-marts all across the country as persons are coming in to purchase liquor.
The licenses have been reinstated. There are strict protocols to be adhered to. Only supermarkets, mini-marts, small grocery shops, gas stations, and wholesalers are allowed to sell alcohol. There should be no gathering or loitering at the location where the alcohol is purchased, as well as no drinking in public. The sale of liquor is only permitted during the hours of 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. The team spoke to a few individuals who expressed sheer elation at finally being able to purchase the long forbidden drink.
Man, today is an alcohol day, but can you imagine when you go in there, you barely getting any alcohol because people was taking alcohol like as is packs of macaroni and lentils that was going on. So people buying the rum, grabber just going like that. For most of the alcohol depots you go, there's no more alcohol left. People took all, but apparently I happened to get in early, so I got my stuff because I usually make my supplies for my customers. So it's good, but for now, there are no more, there are alcohol, but what do people expect, like white rum and stuff like that? There's no more on the shelf. Completely zero white rum on the shelf.
Okay, so I'm just here at the supermarket, and I'm just going to pick up a bottle of wine for Mother's Day and a few other stuff for my mom as well.
It has been long, a lot today, from all the way at the back by Flo and at the back by Peter and Company, because people realize that the lift on alcohol has gone, and Mother's Day. So everybody wants to have a bottle or two to enjoy with their wife, that's a mother, or their mother as well. But the long has been very long, people responding to buying their rum to put rum at home.
Many have indicated that it was a great initiative to have the ban on liquor suspended. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
219 St. Lucians are now on home soil. The nationals are employees of Carnival Glory and Caribbean Princess cruise ships who over the past month have been desirous of returning home due to industry challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic. Carnival Glory was docked from approximately 8 a.m. on Friday, the 8th of May in St. Lucia, and nationals were taken to a government quarantine facility. Genevieve Gonzague tells us more.
The two cruise ships, which will bring in 219 St. Lucia nationals, Carnival Glory and Caribbean Princess, have touched St. Lucia's waters. Carnival Glory, which will bring in 207 cruise line workers, arrived on Friday, May 8th at approximately 8 a.m. The repatriated nationals will be taken to a government quarantine facility where they will be held for the next 14 days before they are allowed to go home to family and loved ones who have been anticipating their return.
Public access to the port of entry was suspended during this operation and was managed by the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Port Health Authority spearheaded the disembarkation process, and it was mandatory that the returning nationals wear face masks. The Hot 7 team was on the ground when some of the nationals were being transported to the quarantine facility.
The privacy of the nationals was guarded heavily as the media was not even allowed on the road leading to the port's entry. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Thank you, Genevieve. A JetBlue flight has been granted permission by relevant authorities to arrive on Saturday, the 9th of May, at the Uanora International Airport to pick up 102 U.S. citizens expected to depart St. Lucia. Senior Communications Officer in the Office of the Prime Minister, Nicole McDonald, provided an update on the incoming flight to St. Lucia. She indicated that the flight has not been authorized to bring in passengers into the country since commercial flights are not yet allowed. Last week, there were rumors circulating that a commercial flight arrived with passengers, but the government assures that this was not the case. The flight arrived to pick up U.S. citizens who had been in St. Lucia during the partial shutdown. There is also a WhatsApp note circulating purporting to be St. Lucia's reopening plans, and this the government says is fake. The government has indicated that the phases of St. Lucia's reopening will be properly communicated to the public via official channels. You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, the National Trust responds to the Prime Minister's criticism regarding its supposed inability to sustain its operations. The Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat is advising the public on the need to be mindful of substance use and misuse, and your heartfelt messages to your mothers. That and more coming up after the break.